Hey everyone, I'm Billy Santoro here, and it's not really morning coffee since it's 12:19, and I got up at 7 a.m. and went to the gym, did some cardio, went and grabbed some coffee, came back, cleaned my apartment, which doesn't really get that dirty because I'm OCD. Um, and then went out and got another cup of coffee, and now I'm back. So I'm ready to talk about basically a follow-up video to some of my assertions the other day. First, I want to plug Compass Coffee. Have you guys ever had Compass Coffee? It's fucking delicious. And I drink a triple breve, which is basically just a latte made with half and half milk, because I love my fat content. But if you have a Compass Coffee near you, go ahead and try it out. It's really fucking good coffee. I'm just blessed that there's one right down the street. At any rate, so I got a lot of messages. I posted basically my personal experience with Howard Marr from Fab Scout Models and from Chi Chi LaRue at Noir Mail, and some of the underhanded things that were done to me personally, and well, not personally, really professionally, which has impacted my personal life based on, like, let's face it, it's getting really hard for me to trust people these days. So I've noticed myself just turning inward, not sharing as much information about myself to friends within the industry, just because now when you get when you have someone who's your friend for, let's face it, almost 20 years with Chi Chi and Howard, maybe 7 years, and you really think that they've been intertwined into your personal life. They've been there for the ups and downs of my marriage. They've both helped me out personally, with just being like an ear for me to vent when I felt like I couldn't talk to anyone. It's just not, it's not all just professional. We get intertwined with these people that we lean on in the industry, and to have something come out that is just blatant backstabbing, it ruins your trust. So I don't trust them, obviously, but now I'm starting to question other people, like models who I see work with Chi Chi. Like, I've told intimate things to them, and do I trust them? So that's where my head is right now, and I'm trying to like get past that. But that being said, after I posted the video, there's people in the industry who I haven't been getting along with, models, whatever, who have reconnected with me over this and been like, wow, you know, I have mad respect for you, and I have a similar experience. But there's such fear. A lot of these models have so much fear. Why are people messaging me? A lot of these models have so much fear that they won't get booked. I'm going to tell you something. You know why I don't have fear about getting booked? Because I know that my fans are who's spending the money for the product. Do you understand that? Studios don't commit to a model long term. So when you work for a studio, you get booked for whatever studio, you have a shelf life. They're going to shoot you out till you have enough content, and they don't really need you anymore. Let's face it. It's not a negative. It's just the way the business operates. People watch porn for variety. They don't want to see the same person over and over. And I get it. I totally get that. So from a performer perspective, you have to learn that I can work for a studio and have a shelf life, or I can just go right to my fans and give them what they want, listen to my fans, do things for my fans. I'm going to tell you a story. So when I first started porn, and this is like 2012, 13, around that time, I had done a scene with Chaos Men. And it wasn't the best experience. And the reason why it wasn't the best experience, because I didn't know anything about porn. I didn't know how much of it is performing and how little of it is watching you have sex. Okay? So me not having that knowledge going in made me turn out a shitty performance. And when I talked to the director afterwards, we agreed that porn wasn't for me. It wasn't, I had a different expectation going in. But my second scene was with Lucas Entertainment, and I had a phenomenal experience. Hold on to that. My experience with Lucas, my second shoot, was phenomenal. So I don't listen to what everyone else says about Lucas. My experience was phenomenal. So guess what? Someone comes to me, oh, what's it like to work with Lucas? He's terrible. He's terrible. No, he's not. I had a great experience. He is the real reason that I decided to stick out a porn career. He showed me that I can do this and I can be a performer. And there's whatever obstacles I had going in, I was able to overcome them through his guidance and his experience. So I do credit him with the one who's really gotten me into porn. Now, my very next scene was, what wasn't my next scene? None of my scenes were out yet to the public, okay? It was just based on my own personal experience with 2 studios. The very next day after I shot, I got a message from Laura from men.com. You guys know Laura, Naughty Laura, if that makes any sense. She reached out to me on Twitter, and Kevin from men.com also reached out to me on Twitter, and were like, we want to sign you, we want to get you an exclusive contract, you're right up our alley, blah, 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 blah. Back then, I didn't know really anything about exclusivity and what it all entailed. I was wet behind the ears. I knew nothing. So I said, okay, well, let's come up with a deal. So they gave me a certain amount of scenes a month at a certain rate, and it worked for me. I was like, this is perfect. They sent me over the contract. I looked at the contract. I read my contracts. So I read my contract, and there was a clause in there that said, we can terminate your contract at any time for any reason if we deem that you are not painting the company, MindGeek, men.com, in a positive light. You know what that said to me? Billy Santoro, shut your mouth and don't cause a ripple, okay? Now, back then I was having bareback sex and all that too, but I knew Men was very strict about non-bareback sex at the time, so maybe I shouldn't be public about it because I am representing that company as Billy Santoro. So I started removing all of my videos from bareback sex and just keeping a low profile because I didn't want to lose my contract. But guess what? My contract expired, I was done, and I started shooting for other studios. I started doing my own thing. That's when my fame started. That's when the fans started to rally behind me. I didn't have a huge fan base when I was exclusive at men.com. I didn't. That's why I wasn't re-signed. I didn't do well on the site. The fans weren't loving me, you know? So I was let go from men.com. There was no renewal, which is fine. So then I decided I'm going to be Billy. I'm going to be myself. I'm going to speak to you like this. I'm going to be as obnoxious as I am because it's me. I'm going to be as dirty and filthy and slutty as I am because it's me. And I'm going to let all of my fans in to who I am. And guess what? That authenticity is why I don't have to work for studios anymore. It's why I'm making a lot of money just putting my own shit out there. Because the fans are the ones who are spending the money, not Chi Chi LaRue, not Howard. They're not making money. They're not making good money anymore. They're not. So they're grasping at straws to make sure that all these performers stay where they belong. You don't think OnlyFans, Just for Fans, is hurting Howard? Absolutely it is. You don't think it's hurting Shishi? Absolutely it is. Of course it's hurting the porn industry. But guess what? It's not. It's better for the models. The models are making money. Finally, the models are making money. So when you look at this, and I'm not really talking in a circle. I want to get back to my first point, which is models being afraid to not get booked. Okay? Yes, you have to get booked. You have to start getting a name, right? But then use that name and start doing you. Because as soon as you start doing you, you're going to see sales growth. Hold on, I'm on camera. Sales growth, okay? That's why I can speak my mind. That's why I don't have fear. What's the backlash going to do? Not get me cast somewhere? So what? I'll put more videos on my Just for Fans. I'll buy a banner ad on Chatterbait. There's nothing I can't do that these studios can do. Do you understand? I can do the same shit. You can do the same shit. So don't be afraid, because if a studio wants you, it's because you sell, okay? It's because you sell. Not because you're friends with Chi Chi LaRue, not because you're friends with Howard. None of that shit matters at the end of the day. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. You have to do you, okay? You can listen to gossip because I had a new model, and I'm not going to say his name. He's pretty new, and I'm going to fly him to DC, okay? To film, get him some club gigs, just help him out, okay? He confessed to me that he's nervous about coming. And I was like, oh, why? And I was like, oh, I'm just a big pussycat. And he goes, no, I've heard some gossip about you and blah, 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 blah. He wouldn't tell me who said it, okay? And I understand you're trying to protect your friends, whatever. So I ended up getting it out of him who said it. The person who said it is someone I've never said 2 words to. I've never met. So I explained that to him. I was like, I don't even know this person. I know he's in porn, but I've never met him. I've never talked to him. I don't follow him on Twitter. What's the point of bashing me? So I told him, I said, look, this is my advice. Meet people. Meet everyone. Form your own opinion based on your interaction, based on how they treat you, okay? If you live your life that way, and you keep it very honest, an honest, authentic self, you're going to make money, you're going to work, you're going to do well. But if you keep spreading around the gossip, if you keep listening to hate blogs, sure, we get entertainment and reading about people and their bullshit. We get it. There's a reason why reality TV is taking over the world. But at the same time, we're all human beings. We all have all facets of our personalities. Some are stronger than others, but we all exhibit it. Some of us, we have hate, we have anger, we have happiness. We show everything. We're human. At the same time, just be honest with each other. Don't backstab each other. Be authentic. And you show that to your fans, they're gonna crave more of you. I love my fans. There's nothing I won't do for my fans. Because you know what? They take care of me. They take care of me. I have everything. I live very well. And I have no one to thank for it except for my fans. Not me, not Howard, not men.com. My fans. That's it. Do you understand? They are the ones who pay. They are the ones who elevate you. I go out of my way. I'm not going to lie. My Twitter messages, I wake up every morning with 50 DMs from fans. I do my best to respond. It's very hard sometimes. And I joke around about it because when I came in, I did my first interview ever in the porn industry. I said, well, I'm trying to be accessible. My goal on social media is to be accessible. So I'm going to try to respond to everyone who even if it's just a like, I'll like something they say, just so they know that I'm paying attention. And you have to do that too. Respond to everybody. If it's hate, of course you don't want to respond to that. But, I went off on a huge fucking tangent. That's why I need my coffee. So that being said, I want to thank everyone who's, and I'm talking at least 100 people in the last couple days, have texted me, called me, emailed me, just saying they have my back. They're so proud of me. And, they've seen the page turning, that the old regime this is a sign. The old regime, the old porn professionals are grasping at straws. I hate to say it, but the page is turning. The old way of doing things is gone. The new way of doing things is here. Trent Ducati has it right. And I'm going to say this. Trent and I have had our differences in the past. We have. But I have the utmost respect for Trenton. And you know why? One, he was a performer first. So he knows exactly what's going on set. He knows what people need on set. He knows how to treat models because of that. Okay, that's number one. Number two, he sees the change in the industry. He knows that there's a reason the cam sites are making all the money. And he's starting to do this with his Nasty Daddy and his other sites, removing the fourth wall and allowing cell phones on set to record the process. Do you know what that does? It makes the fans crave it. So if you haven't checked it out, go to TrentonDucati.com. I think that's his site. Don't get me wrong. NastyDaddy.com. And these sites that he runs, because you're going to see it's different. It's different than the porn you're seeing out there. It's not studio porn. He's removing the fourth wall and allowing you into our world. And that's what makes him brilliant. The Chi Chi LaRue way of doing things, that's the past. And I know, just, I can only speculate, but I guarantee you that Noir Rail's not making the money they thought they would. Okay? Because they're doing the same old shit. And I can guarantee you that as soon as Icon turns over, it's not going to make money. It's just how it is. It's how it is. It's the nature of the business. Howard, the same thing. If you're going to be an agent, you got to change. It's not sending an 8x10 photo anymore by mail. Like I said before, I'm not going to bash him. I'm just going to say, if you're going to be an agent, it's not enough anymore. You can't be an agent. You need to be a model manager. You need to manage that model's life. All his professional stuff, not just getting him a porn gig. You need to get nightclub gigs. You need to get porn gigs. You need to manage his OnlyFans. You need to manage his Just for Fans. You need to do all this for your model. You should be booking the flights. You should be making sure your model has what they need. You should be making sure your model has their boner pills if he needs them. That's what I expect from an agent. If I have an agent, I shouldn't have to look at my laptop. I should know exactly what I'm doing. The fucking travel stuff should be in my email. I shouldn't have to deal with anything. But these agents nowadays don't do that. They'll call you and be like, I have a gig for you that day. And that's it. Then their hands are pretty much off. And that's not the way you operate. You can't operate. You have to make yourself different because there's social media, bub. People don't need you anymore to get a gig. They need you to manage them. And you can't really manage yourself. So that being said, I'm going to stop for today. That's another long video. I usually don't like to talk longer than 10 minutes. But I just wanted to get it out because there was such an outpouring of support. And it looks like I am going to have to be the voice for those who are afraid, which was never my intention. But I will be. I will always call people out. So if you have any inkling of people mistreating you that are in power positions, just tell me about it, and I'll figure out a way to call them out because it's bullshit and it needs to stop. It needs to stop. All right, everyone. Have a great day. And like I said, Compass Coffee Girl. It's so fucking good. And oh yeah, I'm going to be in Philadelphia on Saturday night. It's going to be fucking hot. I'm going to a gold-themed party. So if you're in New York, you're in Baltimore, you're in D.C., try to make your way to Philadelphia Saturday night. Shit, you don't have to get a hotel, girl. Just go out dancing all night and get back on the train and go. That's what I'm doing. All right, I'll see you all later. Have a good night.